Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hi everyone, my name is Kris Keyser. I am a chiptune musician, and today I'll be talking about Tecmo Super Bowl for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I love this game. I have really fond memories of playing this game years and years ago when I was a lot younger, and I have very specific memories about this. So my family had a beach place that we rented, and we'd go every year. It was always a lot of fun. One year, my brother and I, got chickenpox, and we really couldn't go outside and do much of anything. So we spent most of our time resting and playing Dr. Mario and playing Tecmo Super Bowl. So this game blew my mind at the time. It seemed like the coolest, most high-tech, most impressive. It was just really the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So speaking of graphics, it has crazy cutscene animations all the way through that are really impressive, I think, for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I think that there weren't a lot of games that were doing it quite the way that they were. So it was almost like watching a movie that somebody made about football occasionally. So you should go and look on YouTube. It's really cinematic. There'll be scenes where it'll kind of just cut to like a letterbox scene where, someone's punting a football, right? Not the most dramatic thing in the world. It's got these anime speed lines and different camera angles, and it's like they're taking this thing that is, if you care about football, it's important, but it almost becomes this over dramatized action movie style sort of moment where like, oh my gosh, he's punting. It's the coolest thing ever. And they sell that to you really well by how they add all the animation around it and all of that. And this is all throughout the game. So, punts look really cool. Extra points look really cool. Multiple camera angles, everything. Somebody catches a ball. He'll jump up in the air. You'll see the ball hit his hands. He'll land on one foot like a superhero. It's intense. But they really knew how to make a video game have the same excitement or potentially even more excitement than a real football game. I'm not even a football guy anymore. I don't watch the sport. I don't really think about it all that often. But Tecmo Super Bowl is exciting to me. It's this version of it, this dramatized version that's just like, this is cool. This is really awesome. So along with that, I think one of the big things that people still talk about with this game is the soundtrack. So as I said before, I'm a chiptune musician. I make music using old game hardware like the NES, like the Game Boy, like the Genesis. The composers really knew what they were doing. They really pushed the NES sound chip with this one. They made all these solid driving rock tracks with, the NES's approximation of a guitar. So it's like square wave solos, and it's not simple music at all. Like there's, stuff that's pretty straightforward, but then there's always these really complex melodic lines. Even these occasional stings of music are hyper complex. Again, the soundtrack's out there on YouTube. Definitely go check that out. There's a lot to it. And they didn't skimp on the music either. They had different game modes like the, preseason and Pro Bowl and all that. And each one of those had its own set of music. So you'd hear different songs as you play in different modes, which was pretty cool. Pretty, in depth in terms of how much time, how much work they put into making this game sound good. I'm pretty sure that Tecmo Super Bowl was just as influential on my music taste as the records that I listened to when I was younger. Parents used to play me Beatles and Jethro Tull and stuff like that. And I think, Tecmo Super Bowl is up there in terms of what shaped what I liked. Now, I'm going to say something that might be controversial here, just because I know people have very strong opinions, especially about old video games and old video game music. I think Tecmo Super Bowl soundtrack is up there with like Journey to Silius. I really do. Even there are songs on there that if they were not in the middle of a football game, they would have fit in the middle of a Mega Man soundtrack. So for that alone, if I haven't sold you on the game yet, that's what I would say you go check out. Just go take a listen. You can find it in like 2 seconds online, but there's great music on this game. Now, graphics aside, music aside, this is a replayable game. This is something you can still play today and have a blast with. In terms of a game that's fun, that's something you can, go through over and over, have your friends over and still enjoy it. I would recommend that. I would say have your friends over, not right now. In the middle of COVID, don't do that. But when you have the opportunity, when it's safe to, this would be something very fun to play with friends. I will say, players are all from 1991. For me, that's appealing because that was when I cared about football and I had interest in this and I knew who they were, all these players. Revisiting that is fun for me. Now, if you don't care, big deal. If you don't know who Joe Montana or Jerry Rice are, not a big deal. But of course, that's appealing to me. I will say it kind of set a standard and it almost ruined other sports games for me. I don't think I've played a football game beyond that I've enjoyed as much or more. I remember I got, Madden 95 on Genesis a few years later. Didn't grab me. Wasn't as exciting. Maybe it was more accurate. Was it as fun? Absolutely not. No, didn't grab me the same way that Tecmo Super Bowl did. And apparently I am not the only person who thinks that Tecmo Super Bowl is still fun today. There are still people playing Tecmo Super Bowl competitively. I didn't even know about this until recently. There are multiple events. There was Tecmo Madison in Madison, Wisconsin, Tundra Bowl in Green Bay. People will show up and play each other in Tecmo Super Bowl as a competition. There is like a community. There are people who are known in this community. There's like big names in the Tecmo Super Bowl community, which is incredible. It's really cool to know that this is a game that meant, to a lot of people what it meant to me. And it's something that, from 1991 that people still get together to celebrate, to play with each other, to have a great time. I'm sure part of it's nostalgic. There's always that piece inherently, but if it wasn't a good game, they wouldn't be showing up to play it. I remember even seeing, as I read through the internet in kind of preparation for this, apparently at one point ESPN said this was the best sports game of all time. Not that ESPN's opinion is particularly important to me, but that's saying a lot considering they know things about sports and presumably sports games. So as you can tell, I love this game. I had to think about what game I was going to talk about when I came on here. And somehow this just went immediately. That was what I was going to do. It had a formative effect on me when I was younger. It's, I think, everything that a good sports game should be, anything that a good game should be. I highly recommend it. I would say if you have an old NES or if you want to, emulate it or if you want to do, I would go check it out. Even if you're not a sports game person, if you want to see what a good sports game could be, this is the one. So, as you can tell, I love the game. You should go play it. Hope you do. Thanks for your time. Happy gaming.
Man, that movie was excellent.
It really was. Totally blew my expectations away.
I know, right? Now I really want to tell everyone about it. But I'm not sure how.
Yeah. If only there was a podcast dedicated to reviewing films and discussing the latest news and trailers on upcoming films. That would be nice.
Yes, for sure. And we can call it the Cineguy Show.
What? No. It will be called Real Movie Critic Unleashed.
No. How about Cineguy featuring Real Movie Critic?
How about the Real Movie Critic and his sidekick, the Cineguy?
CG and RMC.
RMC and CG!
The Real Movie Critic versus the Cineguy. Only at CertainPOV.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're going down, critic.
Bring it on, guy.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.